we answered these questions. Now, let's phrase it to you now. And I tried to pick examples that you all could relate to. And I want you to think about not the husband and the wife, okay? But instead, these are everyday examples. So the first one, for example, you're waiting in a long queue at the Migros or the airport or the car rental. You get to pick, okay? Has this ever happened to you? Okay. What would you do? Or what have you done? How many of you have done nothing? Okay. Sometimes. Okay. Depends on your mood. Okay. All right. And what does something look like? Give me an example.
I'm sorry, I was next, or I was waiting.
Okay. Very polite. Right? I'm sorry, I was next. Okay. Any other examples? I like that.
I usually like to inform them you may not have seen, but the line starts.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Very polite.
Okay. Polite and informative. Well done, Matthew.
And you assume that they didn't do it on purpose.
Right. Which is, again, no. No. So your method is what?
Well, it's my turn.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it really, that's what we said before, it really depends on the mood, the situation, and everything. I mean,
sure.
If you're really in a rush, or sometimes you have time, you just grocery and you have time, and someone passed with just a couple of things, I'll let the person go. But if I'm really in a rush, and if I see, you can see in the person if it's
intentional.
Intentional or not.
We could guess.
Really, okay, so sometimes I'm just say, no, it's me, it's my turn. Just
okay.
cut it short.
So, and again, there's no right or wrong answer here, right? The one challenge that I shared with you before I'll raise again, and that is, what patterns do we create? Now, in the grand scheme of things, I believe this is nothing. This is little, as far as the grocery store. They get harder, by the way, okay? So here's example number 2. Your project team's meeting for the second time. I can tell you that Bruno was late the first time. And now, Bruno's finally arrived 20 minutes late, okay? What would you do?
I need the boss.
I'll tell you what. Let's take 3 minutes, talk to the person next to you, and I would like you to discuss, if you were on the team together and I were the offender, I were Bruno, and I were to walk in, what, if anything, would you say to me at that point or after the meeting? Okay? So what would be, maybe not what you do, but what you think would be an appropriate response. Okay? You got the 3 minutes. No, you're a member of the team. A member of the team. Everybody's, let's just assume we're all on the same level, hierarchically. Okay? So just take 3 minutes. What would you do? Bruno's late for the second time. What would you say or do? Okay?
He's excusing himself when he's
I'll let you decide. You make that assumption. Okay? You can tell who's Dutch here.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't bother. I mean, I find it very non-team behavior. So when there's a larger group, specifically 2 or 3, okay. I mean,
I wouldn't do it during the meeting. Right, Suzanne?
What's that?
Don't do it during the meeting, because then you're defeating the purpose.
What is the purpose?
Well, if you're in a meeting and you're trying, and there's several people, we're assuming there's like 5, 6 people, and one guy comes in late. So if that person's late 20 minutes, and then you have a 5-minute discussion about why he's late, you're now 25 minutes late.
True. Okay. We'll talk about it.
Call him out afterwards.
Important indicator also of the reaction for the second meeting. Because if the person came late at the first meeting, depending on what that person said, it gives you a hint, of the intention, and therefore the reaction that is appropriate.
Did you get the right answer?
Actually, it's my boss who's always late.
This is a good conversation then. I know we went before, but I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Lise? Yes. Okay. Well, at least I can refer to you by name instead of... Okay. No problem. Thank you. Do you have an answer?
Yes, we do.
Fantastic. Okay. You ready? Okay. Now, let me preface our discussion of the second example by saying, again, there really is no right answer, right? But your response will have an impact on future behaviors, both from Bruno and other members of the team, right? Okay? And also, before you tell me what, if anything, you would say or do, remind me of this. What would be your goal in any conversation you would have with Bruno? Change the behavior, right? And by the way, that's it. It's not, finally get this off my chest. It's not, I'm going to set the record straight once and for all. Because if that is your motivation to have the conversation with Bruno, don't have it. Okay? You don't know. In fact, let me make this even more complicated. You don't know why Bruno is late, right? What if he were sitting beside his wife while she's undergoing chemotherapy? He's holding her hand, she's going through the treatment, and he comes in late. And maybe he's a shy guy, and he doesn't come in and, oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe he doesn't want to tell you his life story. Again, we don't know. But just remember, because you don't know, and because we have our own motivations about why we communicate, just remember, if the goal is to change the behavior, or said another way, to improve the performance, any other goal should not cause you to engage in the conversation.
And if I could just add, I would say, if this person's prone to being late, and I'm not his or her boss, then that's that person's business. But probably for the productivity of the meeting, that's probably also the other motivating factor was to improve the way that the meetings are done in order to get the projects done.
Sure.
So, if he wants to be late for other things, that's his prerogative, but don't be late for the meeting where we have a project.
Okay, right. So his behavior impacts the productivity of the entire group. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Let me ask the first question. I know I kind of skipped past he was late the first time. How many of you would say nothing the first time? Okay. All right. Why?
Grace.
Okay. Understood. Everybody get that? Yeah. We're all human. Okay. I don't know about you, but I certainly could not raise my hand to say, oh, I've never been late to a meeting. Ever. Okay. So we let it go. And remember, though, there's a risk, right? By letting it go, on the one hand, we're being nice and understanding and kind. On the other hand, we may be saying it's okay. Yep. Come again?
That's fine.
That it's fine. Okay. So again, I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but there's a risk. There's a risk. Okay. Now, how many of you who also said I'd say nothing would also say yes to, but I would really not mind it if somebody else on my team were to talk to Bruno? Okay. I know you. I know you. Okay. So a lot of us feel like something should be done. But right? In fact, I'm going to skip over the third one for a second. Does this sound familiar to any of you? Right? Thank you. I try to be funny. Sometimes my humor just, my 16-year-old twins don't think I'm funny. Okay? But do we sometimes have these messages, right? We've seen it from our parents, our friends, and other, ooh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want people to see me. So we believe that to say something, or to use another word, to confront, is to somehow put us in this category of, for example, rhymes with which, right? And so again, think about your own messages, your own experiences, why you say nothing and run the risk, okay? So if I were Bruno and I were late the first time and you said nothing, because, and I know some of you asked back there, you asked, well, you know, did he come in and apologize? Did he say, oh, I'm really sorry, lots of traffic? Because that only affects me and none of you, right? You're supposed to laugh that time. Thank you. Okay. So the second time, Bruno is late. How many of you agree that now it's time to say or do something? Matthew, not sure. Okay.
I'm pretty lenient.
You are. You're so kind. Such a sweet guy. Okay. So your hands are raised. I'm Bruno. You guys are meeting. Okay. She's like, oh no, why did I raise my hand? Okay, I'm Bruno. Okay, you guys are meeting. In fact, let's just say the 5 of you are in a team. All right. Chat, okay. Oh guys, oh, I'm really sorry. Sorry I'm late, but you know, the traffic today was just unbelievable. So where were we?
So what held you up?
The traffic, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's some sort of a thing going down by the beach there at Ushi, but my gosh, there was just so much traffic. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep you waiting. But so anyway, what did we discuss so far?
So maybe next time you want to leave a little bit earlier.
Okay, did you hear what she said? Let's talk about that response. Okay, thank you. All right. Did you hear what she said?
No.
Could you repeat that, please?
Says maybe next time you could leave a little bit earlier.
Maybe.
Okay. So, hold on a second. What did you like about the response? First she said, what kept you? And then she said, maybe next time you could leave a little earlier. What did you like about the response? She gave advice. I'm not sure if I like that, but okay, for you liked the advice?
I mean, she gives kind of a solution to the problem.
Okay.
She's not enabling the bad behavior.
Okay, so, right, by saying something, she's saying it's not okay.
And also, we're not going to accommodate your arriving late.
I'm not sure if she said that quite so directly.
Right.
But she certainly said it's not okay, because to say something is to say I'm not okay with this, we're not okay with this, okay? Anything else you liked?
No, I didn't like it.
You didn't like, tell me why you didn't like it. What, in fact,
Okay.
what would you have said differently?
Okay. First time, I will say you're late. Okay, so that everybody knows you're late, and then it's fine. Okay, but we'll continue.
Okay, wait, before you keep going.
Okay.
So you're on the receiving end, and your name is?
Alberto.
Alberto. You're on the receiving end, you come in late for whatever reason, you're late. Alberto says to you, you're late.
No, but not like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're late.
You're late. Just to know.
I know.
That ain't no.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious. Okay.
No, that's a good answer.
Okay. So hold on. Just hold on a second. Hold on a second. So what's the goal?
To change the behavior
Change-
and be more productive in reaching your goal.
Okay. And if you're on the receiving end of you're late, does that change your behavior?
Well, I get the point that people aren't happy. But
People noticed.
Yeah,
Okay. Does it change your behavior?
it's good.
It might.
I think I'm likely to close myself.
Yeah, I think
So for the group meeting, I might, stay and let them speak, because I would be afraid to say something, and they might tell me, we've told this 5 minutes ago or something. Like
Okay. So I don't want to shut down your participation, but we don't often see how other people interpret what we say, right? Our intent, perhaps, may have been, I want to make sure you realize you're late and not do it again. How it's received, we have very little control. Some would suggest no control over. So again, by having this conversation, I appreciate you sharing your experience that could, for some people, cause defensiveness, cause you to shut down. The productivity is great, but the productivity of n-1, maybe not so great. So I'm here in the seat physically, but my heart, my mind is not there. I don't think it was mean or nasty, right? But it ran the risk. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's eye-opener.
Okay, thank you.
No, really.
Thank you. Fantastic. I appreciate that. Okay. So what other options do you have with Bruno?
You could say like a kind of sarcastic in a joking way, like, "Oh, I thought you were bored and didn't want to."
So glad you said that. So glad you said that. Let's talk about that. Thanks, Kevin. Right. Now, let me go back. Can you relate to this sarcasm? No. Oh, watch broken. One of my personal favorites. Have you seen this one? Watch broken, right? Okay. Didn't get the email. Okay. Why do we do that?
We're trying to lighten the mood.
We are, right? Because to be confrontive, to be, right, nasty in our heads, if we can just smile and say something sarcastic, all will be good. It's worse. It's worse, right? You want to improve performance, you want to change behavior, you want to engage this person for the time minus 20 minutes he's here, and to say, oh, didn't get the email? Watch broken is worse. Sarcasm does not work. It has the exact opposite effect of what you think it does. Do you want to be on the receiving end of that? Okay, just think about it. Again, that's why I asked you in the first questions, how did it feel to be persuasive? How did it feel, etc.? Think about being on the receiving end. Oh, nice of you to show up. Oh, glad you could join us. Better late than never. Okay, so because I'm not, hey, I've heard it all, okay? Never done it myself, of course. So, okay, but again, this is some of the reason why. Because we don't want to be associated with these negative images, we try to lighten the mood. And I just want to inform you that you could be doing more harm than good. Okay? So, thank you, Kevin.
But could that ever be positive? Because you're making, in a fun,
Fun for whom?
In a nice way, you're making the person aware that it's
fun and nice for whom?
Yeah. It's your own little joke.
For you, you just laugh at your own jokes.
Okay? Okay? At whose expense? So again, the thing about sarcasm, the thing about hints, is you run the risk of being unclear.
And it's also dangerous.
Exactly.
Because when you're saying watch broken and the other guy says no, car broken or accident.
Or no, I was sitting with my wife while she's going through chemotherapy. Ooh!
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So it's dangerous also because the boomerang can come back even stronger.
Yeah. In fact, you sometimes see that kind of behavior, the passive-aggressive behavior of the person that you were just sarcastic to. So in the moment, okay, fine, I'll sit here, I'll contribute. And then for some, this isn't all, I'll get back at you. I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like the way you treated me, especially amongst my peers. Okay? So again, I can't tell you don't ever do that, but if you listen to your colleagues, you realize there's a risk. There's a risk of being misunderstood, and worse, a risk of really causing defensiveness and someone to be quite unhappy about how they were just treated. Okay? So what other options do you have with Bruno? Yes?
What about asking Bruno if everything is all right?
Beautiful. Right there. Why did I say beautiful? Hey, Bruno, is everything okay? Have I made any assumptions? No. Okay? So I can't say, oh, well, the time must be bad for you, let's change it. Well, wait a second. We haven't even had that conversation. Okay? Beautiful. Simple and beautiful. Okay? Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Now, will he tell you his life story? Depends on the relationship you have with him, or if you were sarcastic with him the last time he was late. Okay? But that's all you need. That's all the opener you need to get the conversation started, to find common ground. Maybe it is a bad time for him. Maybe he's going through something tough at home. Maybe, and I found this in my experience, maybe he doesn't want to be on the team in the first place because his boss said, Bruno, you're going to show up on this team because I've selected you out of our department, okay? Great, thanks. Okay, we don't know. And the easiest thing you could do is just ask. Beautiful.
That was the first or the second time?
You tell us.
I guess probably the first time is more easy because
the pattern hasn't been set.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's a good question.
It's a first time.
Yeah, because
You
in
can
the
say
first...
the second time, and then if the person has really something to share,
Mhm.
and then you can also address if if Bruno has a kind of a bad excuse, like sorry, my watch is broken, or I don't know, I fall asleep my desk.
Okay.
Then
Well-
you can address maybe the second part
Sure.
of the problem at the end of the meeting or
Sure.
one-to-one.
And just to reiterate, before I get Janet's point, just the very simple, is everything okay, opens the lines of communication. And then you have the chance to find out what is the issue, instead of assuming or causing defensiveness, etc. So I love it. It's great.